and welcome to another edition of Highways Presents, where we bring the expert industry knowledge from the road sector to the world. My name is Dominic Browne. I'm the editor of Highways magazine. Thank you for joining me. We talked a lot in recent years about autonomous vehicles, driverless cars, and of course debate still rages about how, when, or even if they might come in. And as a result, we're in danger of overlooking some of the amazing technology that's already available and is having a great impact and many benefits on the road right now. Two of these developments that deserve to be more bride than bridesmaid are connected infrastructure and induction technology. Connected assets provide real-time data and control. Connected infrastructure means responsive, self-monitoring infrastructure that can react to changing situations and give authorities the powers they need to keep traffic safe and moving in real time. Induction technology can power assets without the need for wires and expensive installation or costly repairs and upkeep. All of this is out there right now, proven technology that is effective, powerful, and can be applied to anything from major infrastructure to your common but very clever road marker and road stud. I'm joined today by Tim Baker of Signify, formerly Philips Lighting, a leading supplier of connected lighting. Tim is a road and tunnel lighting expert with many years' experience in the industry. He's here to explain how intelligent LED markers can save you money and make roads safer and road workers safer. Forget the hype. Stay tuned for the future that is also the present. Morning, Tim. Thank you very much for joining us.
Pleasure. Good to see you.
Tim, can you tell us a little bit about OnRoad Lead and the story behind its creation, please?
Yes, absolutely. So guidance markers on roads and carriageways have been around for a good many years. The first retroreflective types, commonly known as cat's eyes, were developed back in the 1930s by a Yorkshireman named Percy Shaw. He was inspired by the polished steel tram lines of the time, which reflected ambient night light and offered some level of guidance. He patented his invention, and cat's eyes have been used across the globe and are still very much in use to this day. Since then, of course, technology has moved along very quickly indeed, as have the demands of our road networks. Greater traffic volumes coupled with climate change have resulted in an increased risk to driver safety. And as effective as retroreflective cat's eyes are, there are more sophisticated illuminated guidance markers available now, which deliver far more than the original design. OnRoad Lead is an example of the vast leap in technology that's taking place on our road networks today. Intelligent, connected and inductively powered and controlled, these illuminated markers deliver increased levels of guidance and enhanced road safety.
Can you give us some technical detail about the OnRoad Lead system, how it's made, what goes into it, how it performs?
The illuminated markers are constructed from UV stabilized high impact polycarbonate. They're pressure tested to around 18,000 kilos, so they're pretty tough. And they meet the ingress requirements of IP69K, the highest protection rating on the scale. It's this housing that encapsulates the high quality, long life LEDs. But that's really only half the story. The really exciting innovation OnRoad Lead delivers is the way it's powered. So the markers aren't directly connected to a power source. So there's no physical connection between the lights and the power cable. It's essentially a wireless solution. They're powered by inductive power transfer. When the marker is positioned in close proximity to a power cable, a magnetic field occurs which creates an electrical current within the marker to power the LEDs. So no underground connections, no corrosion or water ingress, no point of failure.
And it's this wireless power system that allows it, this is a connected system, isn't it? So you can control the system in real time. It can react in real time to the conditions on the road. Is that correct? And could you just tell us how it's controlled?
Yeah, so communication is achieved along the same inductive power cable. So there's no additional wiring required to communicate with the markers. They can be programmed to dim, flash, sequence, or even color change. They're also connectable to other surrounding infrastructure via a SCADA or an asset management system. They can communicate and operate in conjunction with overhead gantries, traffic lights, or intelligent road signs. They can be connected to external sensors, such as temperature, for example, so that if freezing road conditions are detected, the markers could perhaps turn blue to warn drivers of the potential hazard and encourage them to take extra care. The system also reports information related to the general health of the installation. Has a marker failed? Is there a cable fault? Any unusual information such as this is raised as a system alert, and appropriate maintenance can then be scheduled.
So it's kind of a self-monitoring system.
Yeah, absolutely. It's monitoring each marker individually to feedback on the status of exactly what's going on.
If you put all of this technical detail together, can you tell us what do you think is OnRoad Lead's unique selling point? How does it stand out in the market today, and how does it differ from more traditional road marking systems?
Well, I shall probably start by saying that the Philips on-road lead markers have full Department for Transport type approval, in addition to the BSI kite mark specifically for LED road markers. The benefits of inductive power and communication for this type of equipment are far-reaching. From an installation perspective, they're much safer than hardwired alternatives in that there's no cable termination at the marker, uh, no exposed wires, no risk of electrocution to the engineers. This also makes for a much safer and simpler install, as there's no connection between the cable and the marker. The markers are independent sealed units, so no glands to take on water and corrode, which makes general maintenance and replacement far less likely and much easier and quicker. The independent sealed unit element also means that if one marker fails for whatever reason, the rest of the system continues to operate without interruption. So complete system redundancy without any complicated power supply interleaving.
Brilliant. So it's saving lives by being on the road, obviously providing vital safety information to drivers. It's saving carbon because it doesn't have so much interventions and maintenance. It's protecting workers' safety by cutting down on the maintenance and making it easier to install and control. And it is obviously saving taxpayers money because it's a more robust system, more productive, more efficient, and you're reacting in real time. So the whole system is monitoring itself. Can you tell us about, because I know it's been used around the world now, hasn't it? And in some pretty interesting places, it had some very diverse benefits. Give us some of the examples of where on-road lead's been used and some of the impacts it's had.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, it's used all around the world. It's very versatile indeed, a wide variety of applications. Interesting one was the Boca Raton project in Florida. It's a key habitat for sea turtle conservation, blessed with over 5 miles of sandy beach where sea turtles come to breed. Unfortunately, there was an illuminated section of carriageway running straight through the conservation area, which was affecting the movement of the turtles. The decision was made to remove the existing street lighting and replace it with on-road LED markers. This resulted in a fantastic win-win solution. It delivered excellent guidance for vehicle drivers, but also removed the light pollution and glare caused by the street lighting columns, creating a comfortable and accessible environment for the sea turtles to go about their business undisturbed.
A brilliant environmental benefit there. What about some of the more complex network challenges you've dealt with? Can you give us some idea of how you've tackled complex traffic management systems?
Yeah, so Saltash Tunnel, you can see that there on the slide. That sees the on-road LED markers fully integrated with the local infrastructure management system. That level of connectivity delivers excellent oversight to the asset operator and makes advanced planning for maintenance operations and action plans in case of emergency much easier. The markers there deliver what's commonly referred to as a tidal flow traffic control. So the markers divide access between the carriageway's 3 lanes depending on the time of day. So during the morning, peak traffic hours, 2 lanes are open for access into the city and 1 lane for traffic exiting. And then the opposite occurs on an evening, 2 lanes out and 1 lane in. This lane prioritisation is managed by the on-road LED markers. They're controlled from a nearby operations centre and are connected via a SCADA system to the overhead gantries. As the red crosses on the gantries are illuminated to identify restricted access, so too are the markers, providing an instant update on lane priority without the driver having to wait for the next overhead gantry for that all-important safety information.
That's fantastic. So you've had impacts all around the world with on-road LED already. It's brilliant to see the diversity of benefits you can bring with this system and all of the engineering knowledge that Signify can bring to bear on the road networks. From a personal perspective, Tim, can you give us an idea of what it means to you to be involved in these projects, to have this impact, and how you feel about being part of the OnRoad Lead team. I did speak to some of your colleagues and they said you're very, very passionate about your work. In fact, the word geek was mentioned several times. In fact, can you tell us about what your job and what your role with OnRoad Lead means to you?
Yeah, so the early part of my career was spent in lighting calculation. So very much desktop based, on number crunching, on software. And on-road LED is very different indeed. It's all about the impact that it has in real time as opposed to virtually on a piece of software. So the difference that it makes to individual applications, each set, each piece of infrastructure is different, and it's having a big impact. Seeing that impact from a safety point of view, the comfort that it brings to drivers when they're using these pieces of infrastructure, it's really great to see the benefit it brings to people in their everyday lives.
Yeah, and it's kind of perfect for that, isn't it? Because it's so responsive. It can be tailor-made to any kind of need that individual community has.
Yeah, very tunable, very versatile, uh, can be tuned to exact applications.
Brilliant. Well, is there anything you'd like to add?
Only that it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Dom. And yeah, if anybody wants any more information about our product or our system, then please reach out to me. I'm happy to help.
Well, thank you so much, Tim, for your expert insight. It's been really fascinating hearing about the on-road led system, the new benefits it brings to the market, and the fantastic impacts and benefits it's already had around the world. I do urge all of our viewers to stay to the end of the video where you can get Tim and Signify's details and you can get in contact with the team to find out more. It's obviously a fantastic system for saving carbon, saving lives, protecting worker safety, and for making your network more efficient, more responsive in real time to individual community needs. So thank you very much for joining us. Only remains for me to say safe travels, everyone. Thanks for watching.